It's time for Sully's College Football Page on 98.9 WXCO, online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO and on the Civic Media app. Sully's College Football Page is brought to you by the Hilltop Bar, Advantage Insurance, Tommy's Express Car Wash, Dwayne's Cover It All, Buck's Golf Shop, Jim Creshot Jewelry, Big Fat Design, Sun Printing, Hot Nose, the Eye Clinic of Wisconsin, Peterson Kramer Funeral Home, Mensner Hardwoods, Krasowski Dental, the Cloverbelt Credit Union, France Propane, Subway, Webco of Wausau, the Kuhn Hearing Center, Carmelo's and Rip Mountain Golf Course, Joe Rader Towing, the Dirks Group, the Intermission Lounge, the Brokaw Credit Union, Champion Insurance, Trap River Golf Club, Central Wisconsin School of Ballet, Red Clover Market, Mountain Bay Auto Care, Charlie's Bar, the People's State Bank, the Mint Cafe, North End Pub, and the Travel Leaders. It's time now for Sully's College Football Page on 98.9 WXCO. And welcome to another edition of Sully's College Football Page on 98.9 WXCO, online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO, and on the Civic Media app. And of course, you can also get the show live on YouTube. Go to youtube.com and the 98.9 WXCO channel. I am Chad Holmes, joined by Dan Sullivan, Sully himself, the founder and editor of Sully's College Football Page.com. Sully, good morning.
Good morning, Chad. How you doing, man?
Hey, first Saturday after the Christmas break here we had on Thursday and Friday. And I got to tell you, for folks out there who are walking out to their vehicle, getting ready to, start maybe an errand or two, be careful. I darn near killed myself walking from my apartment to my garage. I hit the blacktop, and I saved myself in a way that would have been a beautiful catch on the sideline, getting both feet in bounds, because I don't know how I didn't go tumbling down, and who knows what would have happened after that. But it is slick out there, folks. So if you're going to head out, listen to us while you do your errands on this Saturday morning. Take a little bit of extra time, because we want you to be safe and tune in as well.
That's good advice, Chad. Hey. I was mindful of it, and really, I had no issues,
You got lucky.
I did.
Man, where I was, it was fine. And then all of a sudden, I went from the sidewalk to like the kind of the parking lot area, and then it was, I don't know how I saved myself. Sometimes I think in a year or two, I will not have been able to save myself, but I was able to save myself this time around. Hey, let's get into it, because we are getting into, again, the nitty gritty. Of course, coming up in the next week, it is the New Year's Bowl games. It's not the same as it used to be. Now it's all part of the college football playoff, but this we're starting to get there now. We're to the final 8 of the college football playoff, which will be coming up here in the next few days, but also bowl season has really gotten into full swing as well.
Yeah, and we've got some interesting games in the bowl season today. In fact, one game that's being played in the Pop-Tart Bowl was projected in the preseason as being the national championship game, and that's Clemson against Penn State. So some very good games. And I have to report that the Big Ten is off to a great start. They're 4-0, winning 2 games yesterday, and Washington won. And then, of course, Oregon won their college football playoff game.
Absolutely. So shall we start with some of the bowl results? Is that a good way to start here, Saul? Is that where you want to start?
Well, we certainly can. I just got to get there.
I see in segment it says bowl results. So I think real fast. Let me jump in real fast here, because let's have some headline news here to start. Kyle Whittingham going to Michigan. Your thoughts?
I think given the circumstance that they're in, and given all the negativity that Michigan has endured or been generating over the last few years, they've landed on their feet with him because he is a rock solid citizen. He's going to do good things with the kids in the program. You're not going to be seeing some of the sexual harassment or some of these other things that really have no business in the workplace. I mean, I don't know what planet some of these guys
Right.
are living on, but anyway, so given the circumstance and given the time frame, I don't think they could have done much better.
No, they got fortunate that he had decided to step away from Utah at this point. It sounded like a few of the others that they had kind of reached out to had said, no, I'm not. We're not interested. So I think you're right. And also, they should be embarrassed. The University of Michigan. I mean, not just this. It's been a pattern, and that's something that I think we always look at. Are there patterns of behavior? And it goes back to Harbaugh and some of the scandals that he had. They do need, I think, to take a very definite break from that. And at the same, I mean, I know it's maybe naive to say, but national championships do not erase moral fault failings like this.
No, and I just think that there seems to be a sublineal. It's not overt, but it's certainly there that it does. That if you can win, well, the other stuff is just details, or that's the way it strikes me. And, Michigan is one of the best public universities in America. They are a member of the AAU, the Association of American Universities. They do millions of dollars in research. So this is a very well thought of university, and the football program is dragging it through the mud, in my opinion, and they need to stop that. And Michigan can win without
taking shortcuts.
Yes, Connor Stallion dressed up with the mustache and those fake glasses on the Central Michigan sideline. They really don't need to do that, and it borders on shameful.
And frankly, I see Jim Harbaugh now, having his success with the Chargers, and I wonder if he ever looks in the mirror and says, I mean, I could have done this differently, because it started with him. It really did. I mean, they brought him in, and I don't know, maybe, I'm not sure if it started when he got the pressure where he was not actually doing very well. It just seems to be, it would take away some of the joy from me as a human being if I ultimately got that national championship, but boy, in that way, and now seeing the legacy of his stewardship of that program, I can't think that Bo Schembechler will be proud of that.
No, and I think when most people think about them winning it, they think of them cheating.
Yeah.
So, he may have a different perspective, and who knows what some of those people think because of ego.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I do know that Michigan, in my perspective, is way too good of a university to be involved in this nonsense.
It's good for Kyle Whittingham. I mean, he did the job at Utah for 21 years. I think he deserves an opportunity like this to close out his career, to see whether or not he can take that final step and try to bring back, I think, the pride to the University of Michigan. So it'll be a very interesting story as that develops.
Yeah, I think so, Chad, and I think Whittingham is a step in the right direction. Now, I think I heard he's 66.
Yep.
So how many more years he wants to go?
Well, it's a 5-year contract is what I heard yesterday. So.
And that is quite doable. He can certainly do that. You're going to have to be mindful. I saw that, Matty Campbell is bringing some of his guys from Iowa State. I don't know the talent that's at Iowa State is good enough to do what the expectations at Penn State are. So he brought his assistants. So he brought guys who really know what's expected. The question I have immediately is, are they going to be able to recruit the kind of talent that place is going to demand?
It'll be a little different for Whittingham too, because his defensive coordinator is the new head coach at Utah. I don't think he's going to be able to en masse bring his assistant coaches. I imagine some will stay with Utah. Maybe some will come there. So that'll be, and also I think it'll be a little bit more problematic if he tries to
gut his roster at Utah to bring him to Michigan as well, because I mean, he's got a guy he's worked with for many years who's taken over the job. I think that would be a little awkward to try and gut the roster from his handpicked successor.
And that would be similar to the Iowa State, although then you've got Kurt Signetti sitting out there who brought all those players from James Madison, who certainly have translated into big time players. So, you don't really know. Utah, for the most part, has been a developmental program. So, for the low 4-star to 3-star, Whittingham is going to really work to develop those guys. And then we'll see what happens with the quarterback.
Well, let's talk about the game since we were last together last Saturday. And actually, it started off with the college football playoff first round. We talked last week about the big Alabama win over Oklahoma. Then there were 3 more games on Saturday. Started off with Miami and Texas A&M. And, of course, all the controversy with Miami getting into the tournament. But the idea was, I don't think it was an idea that they were unworthy of being in the playoff. They definitely have the talent. They definitely, I think, had the ability, and they showed it in a 10-3 win against Texas A&M. I think that it's a two-sided coin, at least in my thoughts about that game. Yes, Miami, I think, has definitely the ability, but it just felt like Texas A&M in the last month of the season was not the same team. They did not get better as they went down the stretch, and they were not playing their best football when they needed to be playing their best football. I mean, they had the game against South Carolina where they were down by 30-3 at halftime and came back and won. They lost to Texas in that big game that they wanted so badly, and now they lose this game. It just felt like they did not peak at the right time, and Miami took advantage.
Well, a couple things. If I were to say to you, this past season, regular season for A&M, they didn't play Alabama, they didn't play Georgia, they didn't play Ole Miss, they didn't play Vandy, and they didn't play OU. You'd say, Sully, you're making that up. I am not. No. And so when you were a little suspect of their ACC schedule. At least I was,
Yeah.
Going and beating Notre Dame at Notre Dame, big win. All right. But how many other teams did they hook up with in the SEC? And then, of course, I think there was a scenario created by the talking heads at ESPN that was really about Notre Dame and Miami, when I thought it was more about Miami, Notre Dame versus Alabama.
Sure.
But they got away from that. You and I talked, well, I babbled and you tolerated it, a week ago about how that all played out. So I think whatever they did at ESPN, it was effective because they wanted the SEC to get 5 teams. And you and I both know, head to head, Miami deserved to be in over Notre Dame, and that's coming from an Irish fan. They beat them, so there you have it.
And then the second game last week was Ole Miss and Tulane. And, of course, Mississippi had their new head coach and all the drama that occurred with Lane Kiffin leaving. They could have asked for a better matchup. I mean, they played Tulane earlier in the season, so it was nothing going to be surprising, and they were able to win by a score of 41-10. So I think for Mississippi, for them to sort of validate what they did this year, they had to win this football game. And now it's, I think, gravy. They have an opportunity to still move forward, but if they would have lost this first round game, that would have been just horrible
for them. For Ole Miss.
Yeah, they needed to win this game, and now everything is, I think, if they would have lost without Kiffin, then there would have been a lot of finger pointing. Oh, you should have let him coach or whatever it may be.
Yeah. They won the first game 42-10. And Chad, you said the score this time was 41-10. So it was almost identical scores. Tulane is a good team in the American, but I have to tell you, Chad, this is not their best team in the last 3 or 4 years. Tulane struggled a little bit this year. And I say struggle, I mean, they won some games that were very tight that they typically would separate themselves from. They did not. So Ole Miss going out and doing that, it was kind of, just what was expected of them. And, I think that with 2 group of 5 teams getting in. I'm going to go back to the ACC tiebreaker, which is what really gave that the opportunity to occur because of Duke getting into under that time, which I don't know that Einstein at first glance would be able to understand it.
And then the final game last Saturday in the college football playoff, it was James Madison, the other Cinderella team, went to Oregon, and Oregon jumped out to a big early lead. Did not play as well in the second half, but still won 51-34. So Oregon moves on to the next round as well.
Yeah, and if you saw Danny Lanning's post game, you'd think he lost.
Yeah.
In these kind of games, I think he was so disappointed with what the backups did, and when he subbed, which you have to do, Chad. I'm not going to have you're our best running back. I'm not going to have you go down when we're up 40-7 or something. So you subbed, and then to James Madison's credit, and if I hear one more guy say garbage time, look, as long as there was time on the clock, those kids from James Madison kept playing. And, Oregon's backups are pretty good. They are pretty good. And so give them their propers. They played through it. As long as there was time on the clock, they kept playing. And Danny Mullen did the right thing. I know he was disappointed, but he did the right thing with his roster. He got those guys out of the game because, as you know, you're not trying to impress now. You're trying to win and advance.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's bottom line from this point forward. And some of the other bowls, he had Washington State defeat Utah State in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl by a score of 34-20. I'm going to read these, and then we'll just take a few minutes and talk about anything that jumped out. But that was the Potato Bowl. Washington State beat Utah State 34-21. In the Boca Raton Bowl, it was Louisville getting past Toledo 27-22. In the New Orleans Bowl, Western Kentucky beat Southern Miss 27-16. In the Frisco Bowl, Ohio over UNLV 17-10. Hawaii rallied past California in the Hawaii Bowl 35-31. Yesterday it was Northwestern all over Central Michigan 34-7 in the Game Above Sports Bowl in Detroit. Minnesota in overtime got past New Mexico 20-17 in the Rate Bowl. And in the First Responder Bowl, it was Texas San Antonio spotting Florida International 14 early points, but then winning 57-20. You mentioned the fact a couple of Big Ten wins in there. I thought that Cal-Hawaii game was very, very exciting as Hawaii came back to win that one. Any of those teams or any of those games kind of jump out to you in terms of what you saw this past week?
Well, I thought New Mexico, that's your guy, right?
Yeah.
Jason.
The next Badger football coach.
Okay. Well, the thing about them is they lined up and they dealt with Minnesota. I thought Minnesota early on thought they could bar guard them, just blast them. No. New Mexico hung in there. They were 9-3, had a chance for 10 wins. One of the things that I found humorous is Brian Urlacher, the Chicago Bear linebacker. He was calling the university the organization. He's still in his pro mode, but his son plays for him. And he was talking about the fact that they might be able to get to 10 wins if they could get this done. And the other thing about that game is, I'm one of the few guys that likes PJ. I like him. And he is now 7-0 in bowls. He has not lost the bowl game. And, he's a little bit like James Franklin. No matter what he does, he doesn't get much respect. And, people will say, well, they don't play anybody. Yeah, they played some pretty good teams, or they wouldn't have earned a bowl. So those things.
Well, the thing about it is before him, I mean, they had a few up years. I mean, Jerry Kill had some good years, but
yes, he did.
The consistency has not been at Minnesota for many, many years. They've always been that layer below, and even then, probably a layer below that. He's got them at this very point, and it goes back to some of these programs. It's like, oh yeah, you do want to take it to that next level, but it's not easy to do. You have just as good a chance of going below as opposed to going above.
Yes, and he does a good job of developing his players and keeps them focused in the postseason. A lot of teams don't. A couple other things. I was surprised that Ohio beat UNLV. That kind of surprised me.
I wasn't, because UNLV had such a good start, but the last half of the year they did not play nearly as well.
Yeah, now that's Danny Mullen is there, and next week we'll talk about how the Pac-12 is going to look in the Mountain West. But I thought that the Pac-12 needed UNLV to come with them. And Chad, if you would have said, I'd have bet big money prior that they would have, but they're not. They're staying in the Mountain West. And I just thought Mullen would get that right. Ohio did not have a great year this year. And yet, they found a way and beat a pretty good UNLV team.
Absolutely. Of course, last week were the semifinals in the FCS. Some interesting matchups. We'll take a quick time out and come back and talk about those coming up next. It is Sully's college football page. We'll have more coming up here on 98.9 WXCO, online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO, and on the Civic Media app.
Choose an agency with true 5G coverage. Advantage Insurance of Wausau. Great companies, great agents, great service, great rates, and great claims results. At Advantage Insurance, they support our local community and back you always. Call Advantage Insurance today for all of your insurance needs, or go to AdvantageInsuranceWausau.com. They offer top-rated coverage and the best agents that provide you a true 5G experience for the best total coverage for all your insurance needs.
Chief, we've got a situation.
What is it?
Trouble at the naval base, sir. I'll put it on the screen.
Jiminy Christmas, what happened to all our boat covers?
That's not the worst of it, sir.
No!
Afraid so, sir.
Not the boat upholstery, too. All those holes? It looks like Swiss cheese.
It's funny you mention that, sir. We found the culprit.
All right, Mouse, who are you working for? The Russians? Take him to the brig and get Agent Dwayne from CIA on the horn now.
Dwayne's covered off. Dwayne speaking.
Agent Dwayne, your country needs you. A terrorist mouse has chewed up every single boat cover and piece of upholstery in the Navy.
I'll patch up what I can and replace what I can.
Agent Dwayne, you're a great American.
Just doing my job.
Boat covers, seat upholstery, camper, deck, or patio awnings. When you need something covered or upholstered, call the CIA. Dwayne's Cover It All. Commercial accounts are welcome. Call or email Dwayne. Visit Dwayne'sCoverItAll.com.
Tommy's Express Car Wash at 102 Bridge Street in Wausau and 1611 Schofield Avenue in Weston has the tools and experience to keep your car clean inside and out. Our wash packages let you pay for the services you want, including Tommy Garden Body Wax, wheel cleaning and tire gloss, an underbody flush and spot-free rinse. Give your vehicle the cleaning it deserves at Tommy's Express at 102 Bridge Street in Wausau and 1611 Schofield Avenue in Weston.
It takes a lot to impress us at Jim Krishock Jewelers. I mean, we see gorgeous diamonds, gemstones, and incredible jewelry every day that we've chosen for our selection. But when a diamond jewelry line like this one comes along, well, our eyes really widen up and our mouths drop open and our hearts beat a little faster. Yours will too when you stop in and check out our Fire and Ice collection of diamonds and diamond jewelry. Their slogan is bigger, brighter, whiter. And it's a difference you can see, which is the most important. Each Fire and Ice diamond is cut to maximize the performance of light coming into and leaving the diamonds to create amazing sparkle and brilliance. So whether you're planning on getting engaged or upsizing your current diamond, or just want something completely new with more sparkle and dazzle than you've ever seen before, stop in and check out our Fire and Ice collection. It's exclusively available right here at Jim Krishock Jewelers at our one and only location on Rib Mountain Drive in Wausau.
Joe Rader Towing in Wausau offers 24-hour-a-day towing, lockout service, and roadside assistance throughout central Wisconsin. You can count on Joe Rader's experienced team to get to you fast. Family owned and operated. When you need a tow, call Joe at 715-212-4762.
The Intermission Bar, located in the heart of downtown Wausau, is a warm, friendly, comfortable spot to enjoy time with old friends and meet new ones as well. Free live music 3 nights a week featuring some of the Midwest's finest talent. The Intermission, a social establishment.
It's Sully's college football page on 98.9 WXCO, online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO, and on the Civic Media app, and on YouTube, youtube.com, and the 98.9 WXCO channel. With Sully, I'm Chad Holmes. Before we talk about the FCS semifinals, I was just looking. There are a lot of college football bowl games today, aren't there?
There's 9. There are 9 games today.
Just amazing. I'm sure we'll talk about that coming up in a little bit, but and that's in addition to a couple of NFL games out there. So if you're a football fan, you got it all on the plate coming up, including the Packers tonight. So some people can have to multitask. But,
Chad, I don't watch pro football hardly at all, but I got to tell you, I was more than shocked when I found out the Bears beat the Packers. I think there was a time when Favre had won 25 of 22 or 21 games. He basically destroyed what was a really good rivalry. But, you can't do what the Bears have done and say it's a rivalry. It really isn't.
Well, let's talk about the semifinals in the FCS, and that their tournament has continued to go right down. And again, maybe not some of the names we come to know and expect late in this tournament, but
Right.
But you had the Battle of Montana, and it was, pretty one-sided. Montana State knocked off Montana by a score of 48-23. Were you surprised it was such an overwhelming win?
Well, actually, the score is a little deceptive in that Montana took a lead 20-16 mid-third quarter. And so you're thinking, whoa, wait a minute, maybe they're going to get them, because the last game was like 31-28. It was very competitive. And I'll tell you, Montana State was home. I don't think that anybody in the state of Montana was either at the game or watching or listening to the game. They were saying it was the biggest sporting event ever in Montana, with the winner going, to the national championship. So what happened from that point on? Montana State just took the game over, both offensively and defensively, forced a couple turnovers, were able to score from distance. So the final score looked a lot different than mid-third quarter.
Yeah, you notice in playoffs, it seems as though when you're forced to make a play, when you're a little bit behind, it's sort of like you be in a World Series game and you're down in the 8th inning, you start squeezing that bat a little bit, you start forcing it, and that's the worst thing. Those turnovers come, and then a close game can be turned very, very quickly. So that's one of the semifinals. And then the other semifinal was played in Philly, and Villanova hosted Illinois State. And I mentioned, I was wondering, where did Villanova play? So I actually flipped it on a little bit last week. I'm not sure where it was. It was not a stadium that I'd ever seen before. It was cold, and there were a lot of empty seats, is what I noticed.
Yes, well, when you said that, quite frankly, I wasn't sure either. And I've been working with them since 2009. They have their stadium is on campus,
Which is great.
It's Villanova Stadium. And so that's where, they hooked up for this game. And I was surprised by the crowd, too. I mean, that is, in a cold weather state. So it's not like they're not used to that.
Real quickly, before we talk about the game, it seems like, and I know that you probably the history of college football in the last, 50, 60, 70 years, the big Eastern cities tend to be pro cities, not college cities,
Yes.
whether it's New York or Philadelphia. Because, you see Philly, Tempo's always struggled to draw, even when they've had decent teams that they play in Lincoln Financial Field, and it looks like one of the Wisconsin State high school games where it's like, very little people in a massive stadium. Villanova the same, and New York's always had that issue. As much as the Big Ten wants to make New York one of their hubs with Rutgers, it's just not a college city. And a lot of those big northeastern cities, even Boston. Boston College is, when they win, they'll get a little attention, but they tend not to get even a lot of attention up there.
I think that's absolutely true. And you can really extend that to cold weather northerns. Chicago is not a college town. The Big Ten headquarters is there, but you've got the Cubbies and you got the Bears and you got the Bulls, the Blackhawks, and then my team, the White Sox, which is always kind of the guy carrying in the luggage. But that's true in major northern cities. In fact, when we were doing the show over at Hudson's, you remember all those years ago?
Milwaukee Burger.
Oh, that's right. It was Hudson's, yes. Before it was Milwaukee, it was Hudson's. But you're right, Milwaukee Burger. There were some guys that were doing some work from Georgia. And I asked them one time, if the Falcons played the Dogs, who are you guys? They looked at me like I was nuts. So in the southern part of the country, college football kind of rules the roost. But I would say up here in the north, it's really more pro cities. And, I think if we asked the majority of our listeners here in Wausau, if there was a hypothetical game between the Packers and the Badgers, who are your four? You'd get a hefty number above 50 that would say Green Bay.
Yeah. And the game itself, Illinois State went on the road and they won fairly easily, 30-14.
Illinois State took this game over from the start because going in, it reminded me a little bit of years ago. Oklahoma was playing SC in the national championship game. It was around 2004. Reggie Bush was playing for the SC and the quarterback Matt Leinart and those kids, and I had no idea. And then the game ended up 55-19. SC just smoked them. Not as bad, but from the control perspective, Illinois State just came out. They won that game against North Dakota State, 29-28 at the Fargo Dome. And I'll tell you, they're on a roll. So this game coming up on the 5th with Montana State, I would have said to you, Montana State should get this. But I'll tell you, the way Illinois State is playing right now, they are seeing themselves, I think, as the new North Dakota State.
So they get a little bit like a Super Bowl break here to get a little more time to prepare. That'll be played on the 5th of January again. This time in Nashville. They used to play down in Texas this game for a long time?
They played in a place called Fargo. No, not
Frisco.
Fargo. Frisco. There you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they're going to a big stadium at First Bank Stadium. So that'll be cool for those guys. And
a little different. And I'll tell you, I wasn't sure that Illinois State was even going to get in because, they played Southern Illinois, their big rival, and Southern beat them. And I got it here, 37-7. I mean, they just smoked them. And so you thought, and then they got in. But I'll tell you, I didn't think they were long for the tournament. But when they beat North Dakota State, and they were down in that game 28-14 late, and they scored 2 late touchdowns and made a 2-point conversion and won the game. So kudos to them, because there was a time when you thought they may not get in, and here they are playing for all of it.
We'll talk more, I'm sure, about the championship game next week as we get in the run-up to that. But coming up next, Christmas may be over, but still spreading some holiday cheer, aren't we?
Yeah, we are, and our guest today is Joey Popowski from the Mint, and Joe's not made it here yet. And
yes, he is. He's actually sitting back there.
Oh, he is. Oh, there he is. Well, then we're good.
We'll get him to come on in, and then we'll take a quick break and then come back with Joe Popowski and our holiday challenge coming up next as we continue here on Sully's college football page on 98.9 WXCO.
I only travel once or twice a year, but when I do, I go big. Exotic places, incredible hotels, new experiences. It has to be memorable. That's why I call Travel Leaders of Wausau. They get me, and they take care of all the details, so I don't have to worry about a thing.
Travel Leaders gets you, and we get you there. Travel better. Call Travel Leaders of Wausau at 715-355-4437.
And can't forget the sandals and the right sunglasses.
The Kuhn Hearing Center is a family-owned and operated hearing care facility located at 1699 Schofield Avenue, Suite 106 in Schofield. Dr. Tim Kuhn has been practicing audiology in the greater Wausau-Weston area for 26 years. Dr. Kuhn works closely with several audiology agencies, including Signia Hearing Aids and Accessories, which provides access to the latest and most advanced technologies in the hearing industry. For more info, check them out online at kuhnhearing.com or call 715-298-5511.
Big Fat Designs can give your company the cutting-edge look it needs to attract customers and stand out from the rest. From websites and print designs to logos and letterheads, Big Fat Designs is your effective and affordable marketing solution. E-commerce, online customer database, video and audio players, Big Fat Designs does it all. And the best part, you deal with someone locally to talk with, to meet with, working hands-on towards your success. Big Fat Designs in Wausau. Find out more online at bigfatdesigns.com.
Experience a culinary journey at Oliva's at Gulliver's Landing. Indulge in our unique supper club atmosphere and savor mouth-watering steaks, seafood, pasta, and sandwiches. Join us for an unforgettable dining experience. Oliva's at Gulliver's Landing, Gadwall Lane in Wausau. It is Sully's College Football Page on 98.9 WXCO, WXCO.FM, mobile devices, and Alexa by searching WXCO and on the Civic Media app. With Sully, I'm Chad Holmes, and Sully, it is again time for the Spread the Cheer, the 10-question holiday trivia challenge. And I think we did pretty well last week, actually.
Yeah, well, we're getting to be pretty adept at this over the years here, Chad, but I got to tell you, we're up against it today with Joe here. Hey, but before we begin, I want to give a big shout out to our guest today, to Joe Popowski here, Joe Schultz, and to one of Wausau's greatest chefs, Jose. Down at the Mint. Yeah, for sponsoring our show, and to all our sponsors. Because of that support, we're able to donate to nonprofits, charities, parishes, missions, volunteers, and schools who all serve our community and beyond. As a result of our sponsors' efforts, Sully's College Football Page was able to identify and provide financial assistance to the following: Hager House, the Women's Community, Bridge Street Mission, Newman Catholic Schools, Holy Name Parish, the Good News Project, Maine All-Volunteer Fire Department, the Humane Society, Knock MS Out of the Park, St. Vincent de Paul Society, Wausau's Free Medical Clinic, the National MS Society, Children's Miracle Network, and St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. So on behalf of all our sponsors, Civic Media, Bull Falls Radio, and Sully's College Football Page, we would like to give a big thank you to you, Joe, and to all our community service providers, charities, and nonprofits who serve the Wausau area and beyond. So thanks to all.
Oh, you're very welcome, Saul. Wouldn't have it any other way.
All right. Well, so we want to ask Joe about the Mint or anything like that?
Joe, you want to talk a little bit about
I surely can. My wife and I ran the Mint for 33 years downtown and turned it over to a great fella, Joe Schultz, and his wife Sherry now operate it. So I'm kind of called the ambassador around there. So what that entails is coming down and drinking coffee and a little BS with the boys and maybe a few errands or so. So I'm kind of on the outskirts, but always helping.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you, there's no truth to the rumors since we all meet down there in the morning that you're thinking of opening later. That's not true, right?
Absolutely not.
Okay, very good, Joe.
So who do we start with? Do we start with Joe first, or?
Well, we can. I think
I can't remember. How do we do this?
Well, last week we asked the first question, so they got the first answer.
Okay, so should we do it that way again?
Yeah, why not?
All right. Do you want to give the question, or you want me to give the question?
Why don't you?
All right, we'll give Joel the first question here. First question: in the classical movie How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Grinch was described with 3 words. What are they? A, clever, cunning, contrary. B, deceptive, deceitful, decadent. C, stink, stank, stunk.
I'm going to have to go with C on that one. Stink, stank, stunk.
Sully?
And you are 100% all over that, Joe. Good job.
One
man.
for one. That was an odd little thing, but
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
I'm not sure where that came from.
All right, so Joe, you're up.
All right, for you boys. What's the name of the famous Christmas ballet?
Oh, no, this doesn't count. We're just discussing, Joe.
That's fine.
Don't we get the 3 choices?
Oh, I was not in on that.
No,
Oh,
hey,
geez.
we're
gonna play without a handicap here.
Yeah,
That's
well,
good.
we're 2 to
You know
1.
what? You guys are professionals.
I'm thinking the Nutcracker.
I was thinking the Nutcracker. as well.
Nutcracker is correct.
All right, how
Who
about
needs choices,
that?
right? Who needs
Yeah,
it?
Good job, boys.
1 for 1 here too. All right, we're off to a good start. Our second question: which real life person is Santa Claus based on? It is A, Kris Kringle, a mystical elf. B, Saint Nicholas, a Christian bishop. C, Claudius, a Roman emperor.
I believe it's Saint Nicholas.
And Joe, you are 2 for 2, man. You're going to be the leadoff hitter for the Minnesota Twins. Will get rid of Cesar Tovar.
I think it's all those years I spent with you at the Newman Catholic High School that brought that one through.
And you know what a great question writer I was back in the day. I kind of gave that away when I said which real life person. Then the first choice was a mystical elf. So a little incongruent there, Joe.
I didn't even catch that one.
So 2 out of 2 for Joe. Or, yep, 2 out of 2. So we got to get this one right.
All right. And handicapped again. So who wrote the classic story, A Christmas Carol?
Oh.
You can converse.
Oh, okay.
A Christmas Carol.
Boy, I'm not.
Yeah, I don't. You guys have something on in there?
I think I just gave you the answer.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that me?
It sounds like it. I think that's what's coming through your microphones over there.
I just gave you the answer.
I know.
Sully.
Oh, they said the answer.
Oh, you must have the thing on the phone on.
Oh, you know what's happening. You know what's happening. That AI is picking it up.
Oh, geez. I should have been paying attention to what that thing was saying.
You guys are cheating on me.
I have no idea.
Was it Robert Frost? Did he write that or no?
Charles Dickens.
Charles Dickens. Yeah.
Oh,
I said, hey, gave it to him here. I mean, Sully, if you're going to cheat, you might as well put that thing underneath the chair.
You know, and the other thing, Joe, if I'm going to cheat, I should know I'm doing it.
Well,
right?
Exactly.
It would have came to me eventually. Dickens, come on.
Dickens, yeah, actually.
And I can honestly, I did not hear what that thing was saying here. My hand is on our Sully's college football page Bible right here.
That's too much.
All right, well, let's go to number 3 for Joe. All right, number 3. What words follow Silent Night in the song? A, Holy Night. B, Lonely Night. C, Beautiful Night.
Holy Night.
Holy Night is right. You're the man, Joe.
You're the man.
3 out of 3.
Yes, sir.
Keeps the pressure on.
All right, what do we got now?
All right. I think this can be a simple one for you, but before electric Christmas lights were invented, what did people use to light up their trees?
Well, I mean, my first thought is candles.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah,
Kansas it is.
Oh, there you go.
We burned down a lot of farmhouses.
Yeah, I was going to
today.
say I wouldn't do that, but
3 out of 3. Holy cow! This is heavy stuff right here. Let's go to number 4 for Joe. Number 4. Studies show that 80% of New Year's resolutions are abandoned by A, late January, B, mid-February, C, early March.
Late January.
So?
Mid-February, Joe. A study that was...
Hey, you got that AI going again, buddy.
I thought I'd turn this thing off.
I'm going to have to protest this whole thing here.
I thought we were hearing voices, and now we definitely are hearing voices.
Mid-February.
A study was done, and they suggested for people out there that are making a New Year's resolution that if you get through February, it'll become a habit. But most 80% of resolutions or New Year's resolutions go south by mid-February. So this guy's point was get through February and it may become a habit.
I guess I was just going on personal experience about mid-January and it's over.
I would have gone with the same one. I would have said late January too. So, so 3 out of 4 for Joe. An opening here, Saul. We got an opening.
Here we go. In what 1988 action movie takes place on Christmas Eve?
Oh, you know,
Die Hard.
And that's the one Paulie Lepre used to lose his mind.
It's a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie.
He would say you cannot have a Christmas movie when you've got 150 Uzis going off.
Well, Paul Lepre was wrong then, and he's wrong now.
Absolutely.
Well, and we were right, though. We got it.
Yes, we are. 4 for 4.
I just watched it the other day, so I'm
There you go.
it's fresh in my mind.
Exactly. All right. So number 5, and Joe, you gotta get this one right. So keep alive here. Number 5, Auld Lang Syne, Times Long Past, is actually A, an Irish folk song, B, an English folk song, C, a Scottish folk song.
Whoo. English, Scottish,
Or Irish.
Irish. I'm going to say Scottish.
And you are right, Joseph. It's a
Came
Scottish,
through with
yes.
the pressure on.
Attaboy, Joe.
All right. It all comes down to one final question here.
And this is going to be a real tough one.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
All right. How do most people eat the candy cane? Starting at the straight end or starting at the curved end?
I always hold it by the curve. So I always start at the straight end.
That's what I would say here.
Okay, we're going to say
end.
the straight end.
55% start at the straight end.
Hey,
Woo.
we win again.
Well, we did have Robert Frost and then Chad came with us, so there. Maybe we won 4.5.
And a little help from AI.
There, yeah. There you go.
I still might have to protest right up to the.
I could not figure out where that voice was. I thought it was my tablet. That's the best thing that's happened in any year that we've done.
Oh,
this.
that was good. That was good. That was fun. That was very good.
Hey,
Joe, anything else we want to add before we wrap things up?
Heading back to the Mint. So if you're hungry today, stop in. Great breakfast till 11 and lunch till 3. And if you want to have the greatest hash browns in town, Jose is the man. He'll take care of you.
Oh, he is.
And he can burn Sully's bacon to a crisp.
You know, when I say thermonuclear burn the bacon, Jose knows exactly what that means.
I actually had my Thanksgiving dinner there.
Oh,
it was so good. He had his Thanksgiving special, and I walked over there.
Sure.
And it was so darn good. I love the stuffing you guys always have.
Well, I always tell Joe there's only one cafe in the world that's ahead of the Mint, and that's Rick's Cafe in Casablanca.
Haven't gotten there yet.
We're closing on them.
Fantastic.
All right, Joe. Well, listen.
All right.
Thank you for your support over the years with the show and all the good work you do in the community and at the Mint.
Perfect. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Thank you too, Joe.
Thank you.
Hey, coming up, we're going to look at what's going on with the Big Ten. So it's actually pretty good right now for the Big Ten. Things are going very, very smoothly for the Big Ten Conference. So we'll talk about that and a whole bunch more coming up here as we continue on Sully's college football page on 98.9 WXCO.
Thinking about changing to organic or natural foods? Then you need to stop at Red Clover Market at the Total Rental location in Weston. Family-owned Red Clover Market, your healthy natural food store. Open Monday through Saturday.
Looking for a part for your vehicle? Look to Hilltop Auto Wrecking in Wausau. Hilltop Auto Wrecking can help you find just about any part you need for your car, truck, or SUV. They have a great selection of auto glass and tires with lots of sizes ready to go. Hilltop Auto Wrecking is always looking to buy vehicles, so if you're stuck with an older junker, they can haul it away for cash. Hilltop Auto Wrecking, family owned and operated for over 40 years at 237-934 Del Rio Road, formerly 6806 North 33rd Street, Wausau. Call 715-675-3258.
For more than 60 years, Sun Printing has been Central Wisconsin's commercial printer of choice due to their commitment to quality, creative solutions, and dedicated service. Sun Printing's team offers you a wide spectrum of services. Whether you need offset, digital, large format, graphic design, or mailing, they print everything under the sun. No project is too big or too small. So give Sun Printing a call at 845-4911 or visit them online at sunprinting.com.
Since 1981, Lopnos has been Wausau's favorite sports bar. Grab a bit of Wausau's past while you're watching your favorite sports teams at their historic turn-of-the-century establishment. Lopnos is the perfect place to catch all the sports action on their 15 enormous flat-screen TVs, enjoy a night on the town with friends, or have a celebration in their private party room. A great place for birthdays, anniversaries, clubs, or meetings. Lopnos, Wausau's oldest and finest sports bar, 3rd Street, Wausau.
For over 40 years, Champion Insurance has been helping business owners protect themselves. They also offer protection for your home, auto, and other personal assets as well. Local family-owned and operated. Champion Insurance. They got you covered. Schofield Avenue, Schofield.
Come on down to Cheeks Bar and Grill on East Wausau Avenue in Wausau. Open for dine-in or takeout Tuesday through Friday, 2 p.m. till close. Saturday, 12 p.m. till close. Sunday, 12 until 8 p.m. Check them out on Facebook, and we hope to see you at Cheeks Bar and Grill in Wausau.
It is Sully's college football page on 98.9 WXCO, WXCO.FM, mobile devices, and Alexa by searching WXCO, and on the Civic Media app. And again, you can also join us by going to YouTube. Go to youtube.com and the 98.9 WXCO channel. You can watch the show live or go back and watch previous episodes at your convenience as well. And so, you mentioned earlier the Big Ten Conference is going pretty well so far.
4-0. We're 4-0. You know, now we're gonna enter a phase here, starting with the Penn State Clemson game, where the Big Ten will not be favored. However, in the 3 games in the college football playoff, the Big Ten are favored to sweep. So, but we're going to get into a realm now where, you know, Vanderbilt is favored over Iowa and a couple other games that we're going to be talking about. You know, Clemson, I think, is 3-point favorite over Northwestern. And
well, before we move on to those games, let's quickly, because you touched on Minnesota earlier about the success that Fleck has had in terms of the bowl games and also in terms of the program. Didn't really talk a lot about Northwestern, and they had that win yesterday and a good win against Central Michigan. That was, again, a really good year for Northwestern, wasn't it?
I'll tell you, Dave Brom has done great work there. You know, he came in an extremely difficult circumstance. You know, Fitz, who was highly regarded, and, you know, you and I have talked about that subsequently Northwestern has come back and said their extensive investigation, Fitz was not involved in or aware of any of it. But anyway, when Brom got there, he was North Dakota State. He didn't even hardly know any of the players. Mm-hmm. And now suddenly he's the interim head coach. And if you remember that year, the players rallied around him. They won 8 games, and again this year, bowl eligible, and they're just finding a way in an expanded Big Ten. They keep finding a way to get themselves into the postseason. So all good, and a big win, by the way. They came out the other day and did not hesitate at all. They just went out and got it done.
Absolutely. So let's talk about the upcoming games. Let's start with that Penn State Clemson game. You said it earlier. That was, some folks thought was going to be a playoff game. That was going to be one that could determine the national champion. And both teams had disappointing years. You talk about keeping at it. I think you have to give credit to Penn State. They kept at it.
They did.
They did not put up the white flag. They were able to get bowl eligible. Now they take on a good Clemson team. And this game at Yankee Stadium coming up not too long from now. Really a very intriguing matchup. I mean, again, it's about which team is going to come out there. And I think, play 60 minutes of football to wrap up their year.
Yeah. In one sense, you don't trust either one of these teams from the year they've had. They just have, had some real negative things occur. Penn State lost its coach. But in another sense, they kept playing. They didn't take their bat and ball and go home. They kept battling. At one point, Penn State was 3-6, and they won their final 3 games to become bowl eligible. A couple things. The game is in Yankee Stadium, so a great venue. It's the Pinstripe Bowl. And the payout on this is $4.4 million. So, when you start looking at some of these bowl games, and I hear everybody say, oh, that's irrelevant. Why are those teams going? Well, one thing that I could think of is $4.4 million would create some interest. But nonetheless, Chad, a very interesting game, and one that I'm definitely going to be tuned into.
Okay, then we have as well the Music City Bowl,
and that's written wrong. That's Tennessee.
That's what I thought, because
yeah.
But Illinois and Tennessee, they're being played in Nashville, so home field advantage, I would say, for Tennessee. Illinois, sort of an up and down year. I think they had some expectations, but I mean, they had some holes on this team too. I don't think that this team underachieved, despite what some people say. I think they lost that running back, actually. Didn't they lose him to Tennessee?
I'm not sure.
I think they actually did. I think it was actually, or Georgia, because he scored against Tennessee in overtime to win that game. So, but Illinois, I mean, Bielema's got them. I mean, you talk about, again, we talked a little bit about Minnesota, where they normally would be. Where Illinois was before Bielema came in to where they are now is a massive improvement.
Yeah, Altmaier, their quarterback, really is a high achiever, and he has overcome a lot of deficits that I think you correctly pointed out. So he's going to, and has kept Illinois in a lot of games. He's a playmaker. Tennessee is very athletic, and so he might have a hard time today doing some of the things that he's able to do in the Big Ten, not because of the speed, not the power, but the quickness that Tennessee's defense will bring. The other thing I just wanted to mention, because these payouts are amazing. This one is a $5 million payout. So, and to be clear, it's based on per team, Chad, not a split, 2.5 million. No, it's 5 million per team.
But does it go to the conference and be split up?
Yeah, it does. It goes to the conference.
So if it was a 10-team conference, you get a lot more.
Yeah, you would be, it goes to the conference. And then what the conference does is it compensates you for your cost to go to the bowl. And then the rest of it.
So in the end, it's not really a lot of money going to these schools, to be honest with you.
Well, when you got 18 teams, and 17 are going to.
It's split up pretty thinly. So, but you got USC and TCU, and USC 9-3, TCU 8-4. That's not what they brought Lincoln Riley in for, was it?
He's kind of been a disappointment from my perspective. 2 years ago, we started talking about you don't want to play Notre Dame. Well, he needs to look at Florida. They play Florida State. They're in a really good league, actually a better league than the one he's in. Georgia still plays Georgia Tech, and of late Tech has been better. South Carolina still plays Clemson. So there's reasons for this. But, he is looking to get those to 10 wins and
look a lot better.
Yeah,
Ugh.
and then try
Well,
to.
Keyshawn, did you hear what Keyshawn Johnson said? He said that, because he played at USC and he's really upset about this. And he said, basically, USC is going to be around a lot longer than Lincoln Riley's going to be around.
These guys are temporary gatekeepers.
Yep. So, he's
are.
ruining a long-time rivalry, and he's not going to be there probably in 5 years. So,
Well, this thing started in 1926, and now because he can't get to 10 wins, Notre Dame has beaten them 11 of 14, I believe, in the last 14. But, I remember SC when who was the guy that was there?
John McCabe?
No, after McCabe. Because
John Robinson?
After him.
Pete Carroll?
Yes, thank you. Pete Carroll, they won like 8 in a row.
Yeah.
And I know Johnny McKay went from 1966, a year they got beat by Parsegian, beat him 51-0. He went all the way to 73 without losing to him a couple times. So it's not like Notre Dame hasn't been on to getting knocked loose in this series.
You got Iowa and Vandy in the ReliaQuest Bowl. Boy, what great years, actually, I think, for both teams. I mean, for Iowa, 8-4, you don't say great year, but boy, they were 4 plays away from being in the college football playoff. I mean, all those losses were very, very close. I think they had a very good year. And Vandy, of course, had an outstanding season.
And that's with their offense being pretty much non-existent for a lot of the season. That defense and what Phil Parker does, the D coordinator there, I don't know if he's the best in the country. I do know he is the best in the country that doesn't get talked about a lot. That guy is something else. And so, real interesting game. Kind of, are they going to be able to control Pavier? Or is he going to be running all over the place on him? Creighton plays. A game that I'm certainly going to tune into. And depending on how Vandy's defense plays, if they bring it and have a really good game, very difficult for Iowa to get a win here.
Cheez-It Bowl, Michigan and Texas. We talked plenty about Michigan earlier. Interim head coach involved in this one. Texas just missed out on the playoff. And again, one of those interesting discussions. And, we talk about the non-conference schedule. If they would not have played Ohio State, would they have been in the playoff? Probably. But in the end, they're just outside. What do you call them? The Blue Bloods getting together.
Yeah. And they hurt themselves with a couple of close wins, as you know.
Yeah, the Mississippi State overtime game.
Yeah. And there was another one, too, where they won.
Very fortunate.
Yes.
I think it was Houston, wasn't it?
Well, there was one in the conference, so who else would have struggled in it? Maybe it was Arkansas, I think. A very close game. Anyway, I wanted to mention in the Riela Quest Bowl, that's a $6.7 million payout, and this one is $6 million. And, you got to think that Texas is in a better place right now than Michigan. Sarkisian talked about they're good to go with Manning. He's his rust is gone and he's going to be ready to roll in the coming season. And, that starts now. So it's going to be an uphill battle for Michigan. Texas, 7.5-point favorite.
And then finally, Las Vegas Bowl, Nebraska and Utah. And, of course, Utah, they were going to have their coach there, but now yesterday was announced, nope, he's not going to be there because he left for Michigan. And Nebraska, they just they did not play well coming down the stretch. And, they improved Rule's contract to keep him from Penn State, but in the end, I don't know, maybe there's some remorse on that because he has not done the job so far. No, I know you're a big fan of his, but he has not been able to turn that program around.
He has not. And, now their quarterback, Dylan Raiola, left. And so 8-4 is better than what they had been, which has been 5-7 for a number of years.
They're not even 4. They're 7-5.
Oh, that's right.
Don't give your boy the game bonus because you like him.
I am, and that's the problem with cutting and pasting.
But 7-5 is not good.
No, it's
not for Nebraska.
It's not for who they
Maybe
were.
they charged the field again for their 7th win, like last year. Remember they charged the field when they beat Wisconsin to clinch their 6th win and get to the bowl game.
Well, yeah, they hadn't been to a bowl game though for like 8 years.
Wasn't that just sad? It was sad.
Well, Ted, small steps, and they were like 7 or 8 years without a bowl. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And so he's been able to do that. But I'll tell you, losing Raiola
that
was a problem,
especially for this game.
Yeah, now I don't know if he would have been ready because he's been hurt.
But it did hurt them down the stretch. You're right.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And he's going to have to do better, and it'll be interesting to see what Utah does. Now, the thing that surprised me about this game was Utah's a 16.5 point favorite. I mean, I thought they would be favored, but Nebraska defensively should be able to keep it closer than that.
All right, so those are the Big Ten non-playoff games coming up in the bowl season before New Year's Day, so in the next week. And coming up, got another challenge here. The challenges keep on coming. You got another special guest sitting right across from you right now.
Yeah, we got Johnny Krasowski, Doc Krasowski. In my opinion, the best dentist in this part of the state.
You've said that year after year.
Yeah, well, anybody that can keep my teeth in my head, given what is awful talented guy. So, yeah, and then we're going to talk a little bit to John here about the 10-game challenge. And, John, I know you, John actually educates dentists in Las Vegas. And Chad and I have talked about it. We would be willing to go and help you set up or whatever. And then we'll do the show. Excellent. And this guy's one of the great poker players there.
So, we'll stop in right there. We got to take a timeout, and then we'll come back and actually talk some college football and the 10-game challenge coming up next with Doc Krasowski. That's coming up as we go into hour number 2 of Sully's College Football Page on 98.9 WXCO.
Buck Welsh has been working in the golf business since 1976, became a PGA member in 1984, and has been teaching for over 40 years. His philosophy has always been to work with the individual golfer, building on the way they do things and making them better with what they have to work with. Call Buck at 715-581-2646 or check out the website www.bucksgolfshop.com to get more info about lessons.
Eye Clinic of Wisconsin believes that clear vision and hearing are priceless. Eye Clinic of Wisconsin is equipped to handle all your eye and hearing care needs. When you need specialty and surgical eye care, why not work with the best? Let the team of professionals at Eye Clinic of Wisconsin see you. Eye Clinic of Wisconsin has 7 convenient locations that include Wausau, Antigo, Medford, Merrill, Rhinelander, Stevens Point, and Wisconsin Rapids. Visit their Facebook page or website at www.eyeclinicwi.com. Eye Clinic of Wisconsin, one vision, yours.
As a proud member of the Wausau Marathon, Edgar, and Athens communities, Peterson Kramer Funeral Home has built a reputation for having a deep commitment to personal service. When you need compassionate concern and expert guidance day or night, Peterson Kramer Funeral Home is the one to call. You can trust them to take care of every detail at a time it matters most. Located in Wausau, Marathon, Edgar, and Athens, Peterson Kramer Funeral Home, friends you've trusted and depended on since 1914. Krasowski Dental offers the most effective cosmetic and neuromuscular dentistry procedures and treatments. When you walk through the doors, you'll experience an incredibly comfortable and pleasant atmosphere where you'll be treated like family. Krasowski Dental offers 24-hour emergency service and care so you don't have to wait, and offers many of the newest dental technologies and perks to make your dental experience comfortable and less stressful. Schedule your appointment now with Krasowski Dental, North 17th Avenue, Wausau.
Don't you just love a good football game? Don't you just love a new car or a new truck or a new motorcycle? And don't you just love saving money? Then you'll love Clover Belt Credit Union, your go-to team for saving money with a great rate vehicle loan. Great rates are what make Clover Belt the leader in vehicle loans. Cars, trucks, motorcycles, ATVs. If it's got a motor and it rolls on wheels, Clover Belt Credit Union has the great rate financing you want. Give us a call and we'll get your great rate loan rolling. Clover Belt Credit Union, your team for great rates.
The Dirks Group started in 1999 as an alternative to traditional IT service providers. From the start, they focused on customized solutions for the needs of each client. Today, they serve over 400 customers from locations in Wausau and Eau Claire. Go to dirksgroup.com for more information.
Charity's Bar in Marathon City. Great food, great service, a great place to meet friends. Come on down and watch the game or just hang out. It's Charity's Bar on County Road and in Marathon City.
Witness the difference at Newman Catholic Schools, where education is embraced by the Christian faith and students are held to a high standard of academic excellence. Schedule a tour and learn what it means to be a Newman Catholic Cardinal. Visit NewmanCatholicSchools.com to learn more.
WXCO 1230 AM, W255DN Wausau, streaming at bullfallsradio.com.
It's Sully's college football page on 98.9 WXCO. Hour number 2. And we always start off hour number 2 challenging the man, the myth, the legend, Sully, Mr. College Football himself. As, again, we should really be keeping track of this, but we never do.
There's a reason for that.
But it is time for the 10-game challenge. And, again, it's always wonderful to bring in some of the folks that really do give the support that allow you to have Sully's college football page, both the website and folks out there. If you have not gone to the website, go to sullyscollegefootballpage.com. There's so much information there. And of course the radio show as well.
Yeah. And if you do get to the website and there's our menu, a stationary menu bar, the third one from the left will say radio show. If you go there, you can get all of the information because Chad and I kind of downshift and we go through this pretty quick.
You can do it yourself. You could actually do the show. You could you could get somebody to be Sully, you could get somebody to be me, and get somebody to be our guest, and you could actually do the show yourself.
Well, actually, and probably better. All right. So today our guest is Dr. John Krasowski. John is the owner of Krasowski Dental, conveniently located in Wausau, Wisconsin. John is a dentist. He combines the most sophisticated dental technology with the Advanced Las Vegas Institute for Advanced Dental Studies. The LIV is it called, correct, John?
Yep.
You know, training to bring you the absolute best in general dentistry, cosmology, or
Cosmetic. I can do hair too.
Yeah, that's a very difficult word, John. You know, so like I mentioned, John, with your going out there to train dentists, Chad and I would be available for that.
I'd love it.
All right, before we get started here, John, with the challenge, I want to give you a big shout out and to all our sponsors. As a result of your willingness to partner with Sully's College Football Page, we're able to reach our 2025 goal of donating $1,500 to volunteer private and charitable institutions in our area and beyond. These donations were given to the following: Hager House, the Women's Community, Newman Catholic Schools, the Good News Project, Maine All-Volunteer Fire Department, the Humane Society, Knock MS Out of the Park, that's a local attack on MS, Wausau Free Medical Clinic, St. Vincent de Paul Society, the National MS Society, Children's Miracle Network, and St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So on behalf of these services, schools, and charities, Bull Falls Radio and Sully's college football page. A heartfelt thank you to you, John, and to all our sponsors for making these donations possible. So thank you, John.
Thank you, Sully. Thanks for giving us a platform to give some money and help out the cause.
And so, Chad, it's back to you now. You ready to?
I think we're ready to roll here. Let's go through the 10-game challenge. And they're all big games as we get to this point of the season. The first one, again, I think is probably one of the more intriguing matchups between teams that were disappointments, but still outstanding programs and outstanding teams. You got in the Pinstripe Bowl, Clemson and Penn State. And Clemson 7-5, Penn State 6-6. And John, we'll start with you.
Well, thanks, Chad. I was listening to that. It was the Pinstripe Bowl. I was thinking a bunch of Wall Street guys and stuff. Little did I then I read a little further. It said the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe, and then I think in the penitentiary. So, anyways, I think this is a great game. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. You talked a little bit about it earlier. It's going to be at Yankee Stadium. What I did deep dive into is the weather. And Penn State is a better running attack. And I think that with rain and snow forecast for the game, I'm thinking maybe Penn State might pull out the upset.
Be a little hard to throw the ball for Kaepernick.
I think so.
So what about you? What do you think?
I am really up in here on this game. I don't know who to trust. I do think Penn State in their backyard. I think Penn State will find a way in this game against Clemson. But I got to tell you, this is 50.5 to or whatever is left, 45, 49.5. Close game, John, but I'm with you. I think Penn State wins this ball game.
Do you think Keytron Allen, I think he's a senior, leaving the team this year with, I think he was averaging or had 226 yards in the last game. I think that too is just,
their backs, Allen and Singleton, coming in, people thought that they were the closest thing to the kids Notre Dame had, and some thought better. And then Singleton kind of hit a wall as the year went on, and then their difficulties with the coach. But you're 100% right, John. Allen kind of emerged as the better back, yes, and they do have a better running game than just about everybody in the country.
Our next game is Illinois and Tennessee, again being played in the Volunteer State, not on campus, but still should be a lot of orange in that Nashville Stadium. Fighting Illini and the Volunteers. Sully, you're up first.
Okay, I'm going to go with Tennessee in this game. I like what they have done on defense, and they played some really tight games. They lost to Georgia in overtime. So they've been there with some of the best. And I just think when you look at their entire roster, John, Tennessee has the better roster. And, as Chad was saying earlier, Illinois has some holes that their quarterback has made up for. But I don't think in this game, Tennessee's just too talented.
And I agree. I kind of feel the same way about Tennessee today. It is a kind of, also you mentioned earlier, it's like a home game for them. Technically, they're right there in Nashville. And I got to go with Tennessee. My daughter's in Knoxville now, and so really? I got to support her.
Actually,
she's in Knoxville. So.
Is she working there, John, or is
she's
she
in
going to school?
She's in school. So
I'll tell you, she was one of the best students that we had at Newman. I mean, certainly better than her father.
Very good.
Yeah, I'm still in school.
Next up, the Alamo Bowl, played in Texas, and TCU will take on USC. And John, you get to go first.
Well, again, as you do the research on this game, one of the interesting things that pop out and part of the new system of college football is this transfer portal. Yeah. And I quickly noticed that they're losing several players from the TCU team. I don't even believe they'll be playing in this game. So, I have a feeling that USC's got this game handily today.
Yeah, I'm with you, John. I think SC's passing game is very, very destructive for defenses, and they have, I know their run game has been somewhat suspect, but it's not due to lack of talent. If their backs get loose, they can go. So I think that USC has the better roster, and I think the right focus now that they don't have to contend with Notre Dame anymore. So they're going to be healthier coming into this game. I like SC.
Up next, it's the Cheez-It Bowl. Talk about wonderful sponsorship opportunities. The Cheez-It Bowl being played down in Orlando, Michigan, and Texas. And Sully, you get to go first.
Yeah, well, the first thought I have about this game is why isn't the Cheez-It Bowl being played in Wisconsin?
It should be.
Yeah, come on, man.
We believe in real cheese, not whatever it is they put in those cheeses.
Yeah, there is that. I'm going to say that Texas is in a better place, John, than Michigan. I really think that, as you look at all of the things that Michigan has gone through and the accumulation of all of it, through Harbaugh and then him getting suspended every other week, it seemed like, and then Connor Stallion, in his Inspector Clouseau disguise on the Central Michigan sideline. I mean, and then more. It's just been one thing after another. So I like Texas mentality coming into the game. And, they did beat Michigan a year ago when Michigan was in a better place. So I think Texas finds a way.
John, what about you?
I this is one I'm going to go a different direction than you. I looking in the research and doing that, they're going to be missing. Texas is going to be missing 3 linebackers today. 2 went to the NFL and 1 to the transfer portal. That's just them. And then there was some talk that Arch Manning may only play 1 or 2 series.
I didn't hear that.
Really? Yeah, they might sit him a little, protect him. So I don't know. There's some again. It's written. I don't know.
I believe as well. I think I saw this yesterday that their leading rusher from the last 2 years is going into the portal as well.
Oh, so there you go. So they may not even play. So I'm actually going with Michigan. I think that this is the upset of the day, and I think Michigan has a chance to pull this off with some revenge.
I gotta tell you, John, I certainly hope you're right about this one because the Big Ten, the SEC. I don't know that the Big Ten, other than Indiana, is favored in any of these, these Big Ten SEC games. So I'm hoping you're right. I just think the Texas roster, even losing those guys, they got next guy up. We'll see though.
Our next game is the Las Vegas Bowl between Nebraska and Utah. And we may as well start with Mr. Las Vegas himself.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, again, it's a Big 10, Big 12 matchup, and Utah has quite a few playoff caliber talent players there. So that's kind of where I think it's going to be a fun. I think it's going to be an exciting game. I think they're very, very closely matched up, and but I think Utah pulls this one out. I think you had that sense earlier too, and this is a Utah game.
Yeah, and I gotta say, John actually researches these games. Some of our guests, our sponsors who have Newman ties.
I thought you were gonna say, and I don't do any of that kind of stuff.
Well, I just depend on what I've written all year, but they come in and John, I gotta tell you, they say, yeah, whatever, Sal thinks I'm good. This guy, no.
He knows the weather.
He does.
Yes,
he does. I'm with you, John. Whittingham has left. Their coach took the Michigan job. And so there's a little disruption there. But Utah was 10-2. This team knows how to win. They were in competition all the way through for that Big 12 championship. And Nebraska's just not where they need to be yet. So I'm with you, Johnny. I think Utah gets it done. But now we should go to
Don't you trust me here?
I thought we
I was. Listen to what I'm going to say here, because this is what I'm going to say before you so rudely interrupted me there.
Just
we
to be
are
clear,
we
that
are
was
we
my
are
intent.
in the midst of the 10-game challenge here on Sully's college football page. Our guest is Dr. John Krasowski. Dr. Krasowski, is there anything you'd like to add about your business? This guy, I've been doing this how many years, and you're sitting here, you're pointing at me to jump in here.
One of my fingers is under the chair.
I would think so.
So
I'm almost outraged here, I tell you.
So I couldn't count to 5. I thought that was 6.
No, that
so
is 5. So
yeah, it is.
But Doc,
All right.
anything else you'd like to add about the business?
Yeah, we're
Anything
going
you'd
to
like
shut
share?
up now, John, and let you talk.
Absolutely. You know, again, I love being across the table here from Sully. It's a true joy. It's a life's journey. It's good to look at him. He's got nice teeth.
Yeah, you got to get out more. Yeah, they're right about the teeth.
No, it's all good. Anyways, I just got to go back to Joe Popowski. I mean, having him in the house was pretty awesome. And he asked a question, or a question was asked about the candy cane. And I can talk from, it should have been not which end of the candy cane people lick or start at, but who licks it or sucks it, whatever, and who bites it. Because I get quite a few broken teeth this time of year. And so just from a business standpoint, I wouldn't be surprised. That better be the question.
I think I'm going to avoid candy canes for the rest of the season.
I think that's a good idea.
So, hey, I've been the dentist here in Wasp for almost 30 years. It's almost hard to believe it's been that long. I've enjoyed every moment of it. I truly believe, without bias, that the clients that come to our office are the best, and they literally become family. I care about them. They're on a pedestal for me. And they've literally nurtured me, because I feel the necessity to stay on the cutting edge of dentistry just for them. They deserve that level of care. And I think with the transition in healthcare and all the commercial stuff out there, I think having an independent dentist is still a unique and special opportunity. So again, thanks for giving me the opportunity for a shout out. I've been blessed, and it's a very humble ride. And again, here I am across the hall from one of the great smiles in Wausau.
And I also, John, I don't mean to embarrass you, but I got to tell you, my wife has a rare neurological disorder. And she went to several dentists, but until she got to you, people just didn't understand it like you were able to. And it's been all uphill for Polly since she started seeing you.
Yeah, Polly's a very special person at first, and I will tell you that I've enjoyed every moment. And I'm lucky. I'm a lucky dentist.
She's a tough sucker. I'd be whining about that constantly.
She is the most gentle, kind person. I don't know how she got mixed up with Sully, but she is the most wonderful woman in the world.
All right, well, let's get to game number 6. Vanderbilt taking on Iowa. And this is in the ReliaQuest Bowl, being played at Tampa, Florida, coming up on New Year's Eve. And Sully, you get to go first.
Well, I really don't want to pick Diego Pavier and anything after his tirade, not winning the Heisman. It was like Johnny Manziel, too, which I thought we were through, but I guess not.
He did apologize.
Yeah, he did, because he had 9 million people threatening him. So I'm going to say that Phil Parker, who I've never heard whine a day in his life in that Iowa defense, finds a way in this game, and they upset Vandy. Although I got to tell you, I do like their coach, Clark Lee, really high-quality guy, and he needs to spend more time with Diego and trying to get him squared away.
Well, I think you nailed it there. You said that you're kind of pulling for Iowa only out of a grudge there. but if we're playing winners and losers, I think Vanderbilt's going to have this game with their Heisman finalist, Diego. I won't say his last name. Is that
Pavier?
Pavier. It almost sounds French, but I think it's Spanish, right?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, Diego.
Diego, yeah, that's Italian.
I think he
or maybe Spanish.
I think he grew a little hair on his back this year, or his chest.
Yeah, did something.
He regrets that dearly. So, anyways, probably cost him. When they always say, like in if a wide receiver drops the ball, they lose $1 million on their contract. I think something happened there.
Well, he certainly didn't do himself anything proud in that tirade. And the reality is, Mendoza
Yes.
has been every bit as good as him. Clear cut better. I wouldn't say that, but if you had to give an edge, I would give it
All right,
to
guys, we're gonna have to pick up the tempo a little
okay,
bit
I'm
here.
sorry.
No, we're all good here. But
Sully talks so damn much.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to make
breaking
the point
breaking this Vanderbilt situation down. It's like we got the big 4 games coming up now. The national quarterfinals. First up, number 5 seed Texas Tech and number 4 seed Texas Tech and number 5 seeded Oregon. And John, you get to go first.
Okay. Well, I have my notes, but I used my wrong doctor handwriting, so I can't even read them. But
Better here than when you're actually doing dental work.
I circled Texas Tech on my paperwork here. I think Oregon, though, is a scrappy team, and I think that Texas Tech has the talent, but I think Oregon is the type of team that can flip the script at any moment and take the game. So, but Texas Tech again is the win for me.
Okay, and I gotta say, you hear a lot about Texas Tech's D. I would say the best offense they played against this year is BYU, and they're about to get a different view of quickness from Oregon. So I think, and it's Oregon. I always say, I had a guy call up here one time and yell about it. It's Oregon, not gone. And I said, well, their backs, when they get in the open, they're gone. So I thought it was Oregon. Anyway, no, I'm going to go, John, I'm going to part company here with you. I'm going to go with Oregon.
Number 1 seed Indiana, number 9 seeded Alabama. Who'd have thunk it that Alabama would be the 9 and Indiana the 1, but that's the way it is in the quarterfinals. And Sully, which shade of red is going to win this one?
Yeah, it seems counterintuitive that Alabama is the dog against Indiana and the ball is not round. If the ball was round, then I could see a little basketball night on the sideline throwing chairs. But this isn't.
Football.
This ball has points. But I'm still going with Indiana. I think they find a way in this game. And I got to tell you, I am the biggest Indiana fan, and I hope they get this done. I think it's great for the game.
And John?
Well, I'm going to concur with Sully on that on Indiana. At having Mendoza as the face of college football this year, it's his exuberance, his excitement. It was like something out of a high school kid. It was just so much fun to watch. You can't go against him. But Alabama has that great postseason history. But Fernando Mendoza, I want you to win this one and go all the way.
Next game is Georgia and Ole Miss, and the only loss this season Mississippi had was against Georgia. Can they continue their little bit of a run without Lane Kiffin? So Georgia and Ole Miss, and John, you get to go first.
I've picked Ole Miss on this one. The reason being is I think Georgia has a better defense and Ole Miss has a better offense. So it's going to be a revenge game, I think, for Ole Miss. They lost earlier in the year. And I think they're going to open it up and make this game a close one, but a fun one to watch. This is the one game I think is going to be exciting.
So you like Ole Miss in this game? Okay. Now, John, when they played earlier in the year, Ole Miss was beating them like 35-21 or something late in the game.
Right.
And Georgia rallied back.
It's like the fourth quarter.
Yes. Oh, yeah. They scored late to win it. I'm not a believer in Ole Miss. I still think Georgia's defense is going to show up. And Gunnar Stockton, that guy seems to grow every game, their quarterback. So I'm going to go with Georgia, but I'm with you. This is going to be one of the best semifinal games in the tournament.
Number 2, Ohio State, and number 10, Miami, coming off their big win. Talk about athletes. There'll be athletes on that field, OSU and Miami. And Sully, you get the first choice.
Yeah, Carson Beck is going to get hurried in this game. That guy, he tends to make mistakes when he gets pressured. We all do to some extent, but he seems to kind of have a monopoly on making really questionable decisions when rushed. Ohio State's going to get after him. I saw that Ryan Day is now going to call the plays in this game because his play caller took another job.
Oh, man.
And so I just think when you look at these rosters, Miami recruits really well, John, but not as well as Ohio State. They've got the advantage there. The key is going to be running the ball effectively, and I think they'll be able to do that based on their passing game.
John?
Again, it's hard to ever go against Ohio State. They've just been perennial winners and just a great program. Ohio State, I was looking at the stats. They scored more points than Miami this season. They've had many less turnovers, and their third down conversions have been really significant. So I think they're the powerhouse. I think they're the ones that are going to, and they lost recently. So I think there's a chip on their shoulders, something to prove that they should have been maybe undefeated team this year, and they blew it. And I think that chip on the shoulder is maybe going to make them a little more hungry.
Well, that was to your boy Fernando, Indiana.
Dr. John Krasowski, anything you'd like to add before we wrap it up?
No, and I just don't forget to brush your teeth twice a day,
That
buddy.
is a good way
Thank
to.
you, Chad.
That's
Thank you,
yes.
Chad.
If you do it twice at one setting, does that count?
Well, yeah, up and down one time, sideways to the next.
Hey, thanks, Doc.
Thank you for having
really
me.
good
It's
stuff.
awesome.
And again, we appreciate the research. That makes it much better as well. So we're gonna come back, have more here as we continue on Sully's college football page on 98.9 WXCO.
Where did the good old days go? From going to the old A&W drive-in to cruising the strip in town, all things change. Some things stay consistent. For almost 75 years, Redant Insurance in Rib Mountain has been providing quality service to its customers. One of the oldest agencies in the area. Your family and neighbors come here. Now it's your turn. Call 715-845-9204. Click redantinsurance.com or stop by 227501 Rib Mountain Drive. Redant Insurance Agency, our family helping yours.
Tommy's Express Car Wash at 102 Bridge Street in Wausau and 1611 Schofield Avenue in Weston has the tools and experience to keep your car clean inside and out. Our wash packages let you pay for the services you want, including Tommy Garden Body Wax, wheel cleaning and tire gloss, an underbody flush and spot-free rinse. Give your vehicle the cleaning it deserves at Tommy's Express at 102 Bridge Street in Wausau and 1611 Schofield Avenue in Weston. You don't have to choose between personal, hometown service, and the latest banking technology. Brokaw Credit Union has it all. Whether you're looking to finance your first home, grow your savings, or get a new set of wheels, we're here to help. Check us out at brokawcu.com. It's hard to find great Italian food in Wausau unless you're familiar with Carmelo's Italian Restaurant. Established in 1986 by the Oliva family, 3 generations still strive to provide a family atmosphere and fine dining experience. Carmelo's is proud to serve authentic Italian made with fresh ingredients. Their recipes have been handed down from generation to generation. Reservations are recommended Tuesdays through Sundays, and they are closed on Mondays. Carmelo's Italian Restaurant, located at the base of Granite Peak on North Mountain Road, Wausau. Check them out at carmelositalian.com.
Looking for a part for your vehicle? Look to Hilltop Auto Wrecking in Wausau. Hilltop Auto Wrecking can help you find just about any part you need for your car, truck, or SUV. They have a great selection of auto glass and tires with lots of sizes ready to go. Hilltop Auto Wrecking is always looking to buy vehicles, so if you're stuck with an older junker, they can haul it away for cash. Hilltop Auto Wrecking, family owned and operated for over 40 years at 237-934 Del Rio Road, formerly 6806 North 33rd Street, Wausau. Call 715-675-3258.
The Mint Cafe, serving old-fashioned American comfort food in a cozy atmosphere. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, your choice is the Mint Cafe. Call ahead for carryouts, deliveries to downtown Wausau, and catering is also available. Check them out at mintcafewausau.com.
Are you looking to furnish a new home, apartment, or cabin? Are you looking for quality clothing at a reasonable price? Well, if you are, be sure to stop at St. Vincent de Paul at 131 West Thomas Street in Wausau. Make them your first stop, your one-stop shop for furniture, clothing, accessories, home products, and much more. And remember, St. Vincent de Paul in Wausau is more than just a thrift store. It's a local ministry meeting the needs of our community. Your purchases benefit those in need right here at home. So shop St. Vincent de Paul at 131 West Thomas Street in Wausau, where your purchases benefit your neighbors.
Since 1997, Mountain Bay Auto Care has been serving Central Wisconsin with top quality and affordable car repair and service. With ASC certified mechanics. Stop by 5702 Stella Avenue in Schofield or call 715-355-8646.
the warmth of your home is about making memories with family and friends and enjoying life celebrations. At Menzner Hardwoods of Marathon, they understand the importance of bringing warmth to a place you call home. For over a century, their fifth-generation family business has been creating beautiful woodwork for the home and office, just as they have for over 130 years. Menzner Hardwoods looks forward to providing you with elegant wood products to enhance the beauty of your home or office. Visit them at menznerhardwoods.com. Menzner Hardwoods, timeless beauty for your home or office.
The Eat Fresh Refresh doesn't stop at your local Wausau Subways. When the urge hits, make sure to stop by any of the 4 Wausau Subway locations at 1609 Merrill Avenue, 330 East Bridge Street, 1819 West Stewart Avenue, and 4300 Rib Mountain Drive in Walmart. Catering, remote ordering, curbside pickup, and Subway delivery all available. And make sure to use the Subway app when you need Subway. Subway with 4 Wausau locations.
Buck's Golf Shop for all of your golfing needs. Located at 903 Grand Avenue, Suite C8, Rothschild, Wisconsin, 54474 in the Bushka Insurance Building on the east side. Specializing in Badger, Bucks, Brewer, and Packer golf-related items. Green tag sale is 30% off the retail price. Call 715-581-2646 or email wellsgolf@pcpros.net.
At People's State Bank, we think checking accounts are like SUVs. That's why we offer more features to fuel your lifestyle. The best part? You can open an account without leaving your driveway. Just visit bankpeoples.com today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
And welcome back. It is Sully's College Football Page on 98.9 WXCO. Online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices, and Alexa by searching WXCO, and on the Civic Media app. And again, on YouTube, go to youtube.com and the 98.9 WXCO channel there as well. With Sully, I'm Chad Holmes, and so gonna focus on one of the other aspects that you look at, especially if folks go to Sully's collegefootballpage.com, and that's recruiting. There's so many different layers to successful college football programs, and one, of course, is recruiting. I think it's changing because now you have recruiting, then you have the transfer portal as well, so this adds another layer, but you do keep an eye on the recruiting aspects and the rankings there as well.
Yeah, what we've done, Chad, over I'd say the last 10 years, we look at 3 sites, ESPN, 24/7, and Rivals, and then we look at 4-year time frame in each of those sites. So we would get an average in ESPN over 4 years, an average of 24 of over 4 years, 24/7, and Rivals. We used to use, I think it was Scout, but it's gone away now, So we're thinking of next summer adding on 3. And my son Michael has been on me about 4 years is too many, because a lot of these guys are leaving after the 3rd year, and the portal, with all the movement, 3 years is probably better for the recruiting. That said, I will tell you, Chad, what your opening line here, this used to be a lot more accurate defining rosters and a better predictor about how teams would do, because it's reflective of their depth. You're going to have injuries. I mean, that's just the nature of the game. But the portal has so altered this, especially with quarterbacks.
By the way, real fast, if you were to say, in terms of future projections on who's going to be good, what percentage would you put on high school recruiting, and what percentage would you put on portal?
I put more on high school recruiting because it's easier to be consistent with that. You know what you're looking for. You go after them. You may or may not get them because of the competition and because of the financing now. Money's finite. And so if I decide that Chad Holmes is our primary target, then we're going to go all in on him. And Sully, we might say, hey, we want him, but, we're not going to. All right. And so we're in the high school. you've got more variance. There's a larger population that you can go after. Portal people are kind of who they are.
Mm-hmm.
High school, you can develop, and so if you get your 4 and 5 stars and then you're looking to supplement them and you're looking at your depth, that high school recruiting really is the difference between 8 wins and 10 wins, in my opinion.
What have you found out? Because if you look at some of these numbers, is there anything that kind of stands out? Anything that talks about patterns in terms of this equals success or this does not equal success?
Well, SC is back in the top 10, and that's over 4 years, 3 sites. Their average rank is 10.2. Oklahoma is 10, and their average rank was 11.3. Now, then you've got Miami, and right in front of them is Notre Dame. Those two teams don't seem to be to get away from each other. So they are 6 and 7. Check 7 and 8 in recruiting. LSU is 6, still recruiting at a high level. And then Oregon is now 5th. Ohio State slipped to 4th. And then Alabama, Georgia, and Texas are 1, 2, 3 in this poll. So what you have with the SEC, you have Oklahoma, you have LSU, Texas, Georgia, and Alabama. You have 5 teams from the SEC in the top 10. The Big Ten now, with Penn State falling apart this year with their recruiting. Chad, they're like 46th. So, they've just come unwound. Oregon, though, continues to move up. Lanny's got them at 5. And then SC broke in. So you got 3 Big Ten, 5 SEC, 1 ACC in Miami, and then Notre Dame rounds out the top 10.
I think the one that surprises me the most, looking at some of these numbers in terms of lack of success the last couple of years, is Florida State, because they're still 15th in the country in terms of the composite recruiting rankings, and they have not won many games the last 2 years. And especially, you can almost understand it if there was in the SEC, because you're going up against so many teams. But the only teams that are above them in terms of the ACC, in fact, the only team that's above them is Miami. The only team that's really close to them is Clemson. Then it's a dip. And another surprise is that I don't think if you were to say who's the 4th besides those 3 in the Atlantic Coast Conference, Stanford is actually the next one down there at number 32. But I mean, in terms of getting the bang for the buck in terms of high school recruiting, Florida State's probably got less of it than any other team that's among the top 50 in the country.
Yeah, and then a couple other things I'd point out about this. The real anomaly is Indiana. They are 53rd. They are ranked 53rd in the country in recruiting. So how in God's name are they in the playoffs? Okay, they're in the playoffs because they won they won the Big Ten. But then how can they have the 53rd best recruiting roster and be the number 1 seed? And yet there they are. So they're really the most difficult to explain, other than you start looking at intrinsic kind of things, like with what Signetti's done, the portal, bringing those kids in who, from James Madison, who kind of were the core. He's got really good quarterback play the last couple of years. And so, especially this year. So that's one thing that jumps out at you. And then, from a recruiting standpoint, Texas, LSU, Notre Dame, and USC should have all made the field, based on their numbers.
Mm-hmm.
None of them did. And then, from the standpoint of who should not have got in that did, from just a recruiting perspective, A&M, Ole Miss, and Texas Tech. The only way they should have gotten in was to win their conference. Now, other than Texas Tech, the other 2 did not. So, clearly the recruiting has an insight, but it's not absolute, because there are too many other variables. Coaching, the portal, and then player development. Guys they grow, they get better, they get stronger, and so it's a real interesting tool. But I would tell you, sadly, Chad, because of this portal, it's not as accurate as it used to be.
All right. Well, we have to take one more time out, and then we're going to come back and talk about the quarterfinals. Look ahead, and Sully will break it down, and we'll get ready for those huge games coming up around New Year's this coming week. One more time out, and then we'll come back for our final segment here on Sully's College Football Page on 98.9 WXCO.
Crab River Golf Course in Wausau is a unique 18-hole public course. The relaxed atmosphere and breathtaking Northwood scenery is sure to make your golfing day a satisfying experience. For membership information and tee times, call Crab River Golf Course at 715-675-3044.
France Propane at 1153 Foundry Street in Schofield is a local family-owned complete service company serving central Wisconsin for over 2 generations. France Propane is a value-driven company whose goal every day is to provide excellent service, maintain the highest safety, reliability in customer care, and competitive pricing. France Propane, service first, safety always. Check out France Propane at francepropane.com. For over 30 years, Webco has worked with corporations, schools, organizations on their apparel and promotional needs. Webco can handle small quantities to orders in the thousands with a fast turnaround. Webco of Wausau, 1405 West Thomas Street.
North End Pub, cold beer, clever conversation, all stories cross-referenced for validity. If you're looking for a nice spot to hang with friends, North End Pub will do the trick. Stop in for thirst relief today. North End Pub, North 3rd Avenue, Wausau.
The Central Wisconsin School of Ballet is celebrating over 52 years of dance instruction. They offer classes in ballet, jazz, contemporary, modern, tap, and musical theater for ages 2 to 99. And did you know that ballet is used by college football teams as a conditioning and cross-training program? Stop in for a trial class, call for a brochure, or email your questions to the studio.
Big Fat Designs can give your company the cutting-edge look it needs to attract customers and stand out from the rest. From websites and print designs to logos and letterheads, Big Fat Designs is your effective and affordable marketing solution. E-commerce, online customer database, video and audio players, Big Fat Designs does it all. And the best part, you deal with someone locally to talk with, to meet with, working hands-on towards your success. Big Fat Designs in Wausau. Find out more online at bigfatdesigns.com.
Witness the difference at Newman Catholic Schools, where education is embraced by the Christian faith and students are held to a high standard of academic excellence. Schedule a tour and learn what it means to be a Newman Catholic Cardinal. Visit newmancatholicschools.com to learn more.
It's Sully's College Football Page on 98.9 WXCO. Along with Sully, I'm Chad Holmes, and time to talk about the college football playoff quarterfinals. Again, one game will be played on New Year's Eve on a Wednesday night, and then we'll have 3 games on New Year's Day itself to set up the semifinals, and then, of course, a few weeks away from the national championship game itself. And so let's jump right in. And the New Year's Eve game will feature Miami and Ohio State. Miami 11-2 on the season. Ohio State is 12-1. 9.5-point favorites are the Buckeyes. And again, you have to just be so impressed that Miami went into that tough environment down at College Station, held Texas A&M to just 3 points. But against Ohio State, they're going to have to score more than 10, aren't they?
Well, you got those receivers. You got Tate, you got Smith. Those guys are a nightmare. And, you really can't double both of them. And so if Ohio State's O-line is able to get the run game going, I think that 9.5 is something that they'll cover. The other thing, the site, when it looks just at the numbers, kind of what you were referring to, it likes Ohio State in 7 of the 8 categories. They're better than Miami, and so if they give, saying some time, they're really going to have a hard time with Ohio State.
Then the first game on New Year's Day will be Oregon and Texas Tech. Both teams are 12-1. This is the only of the 4 quarterfinals where the lower seed is favored. You got number 5 seed Oregon with a 2.5-point edge over Texas Tech, according to the bookmakers. Again, Texas Tech coming out of nowhere. We've heard the stories during the off season about the amount of money that they were putting into this program, and in this case, it was money well spent.
Yeah, I think when you're looking at Texas Tech, defensively they seem to be a monster. I would suggest that the offenses that they've played against, and it's hard to believe we're saying this, are not all that good. Where a few years ago, that's what the Big 12 was all about. So what's going to happen with Oregon, given the fact that they've got all that speed, and Moore is a very, very good quarterback. It's going to be interesting to see how that game goes. Now, the site says Texas Tech wins this game 8-0. It ranks them by the numbers higher than Oregon in every category. So the site definitely likes Texas Tech. I think the boys and girls in the desert see it as under 3, which is kind of a pick 'em.
I think you're overselling the Oregon offense, because you look at some of the games that they played this year. The game against Indiana, they did not perform great offensively. The game against Iowa, they did not perform great offensively, where they win 18-16. The game against Wisconsin, they did not perform great offensively. There's been more than a few of these games where they have not been what I would consider that normal Oregon explosive offense. And like many of the teams, at least a few of the teams, it felt like they came out just roaring. And I don't know if they maintained it as much for the rest of the season.
Yeah, Chad, everything you said there is accurate. They struggled against Iowa. You can look at Iowa's defense and say, well, you know what?
Yeah,
this team hit them in the mouth, and they didn't get to play in space. So I think what you're saying is, if you can keep them in front of you, inside of you, and then smack them, they're going to struggle a little bit. If they get in space, look out.
Yeah.
So I think the games you're talking about, Wisconsin, 2 years in a row now, has had an approach defensively to Oregon, which has completely slowed them down.
Yeah, if I was Texas, I just look at those 2 games and the Iowa game. I mean, those are really probably the ones that you'd say, what did they do?
Yeah, because Tech is going to come in very confident defensively, and they're going to think that they're going to control the speed by keeping it inside. Sometimes speed is hard to prepare for because you just don't have it on your club the way that you're going to see it. But you can adjust during the game, and clearly Wisconsin, Iowa, and Indiana was another one that, what was the score of that game? 20-15?
That was the Iowa game.
The Iowa game was 20-15.
That was Indiana and Iowa, actually, 20-15. The Iowa, I think they only scored like 20 against Indiana. We have to move because we have about 2.5 minutes to go. We have to have 2 games to go. Got Alabama and Indiana. We've talked about this one, 13-0 against 11-3. 6.5-point favorites are IU.
Yeah, and the site says, and anyone listening, you can go to Sully's college football page and go on the simulator, and you'll see what we're talking about.
Yep.
Here, Indiana, in 6 of the 8 categories assessed, Indiana outperforms Alabama.
And then Ole Miss and Georgia. That'll be the final game on New Year's night. 12-1 against 12-1. All SEC matchup. You touched on the fact that Ole Miss actually had them in a very good spot before Georgia came roaring back. Again, those are interesting when you have that second meeting. We saw Alabama turn the tables on Oklahoma last week. How do you look at that? Is it the advantage maybe for the team that lost the first time?
Well, you wonder with Kiffin being gone, given the nature of this game, if his absence as a play caller is going to be more
Right.
more missed. The reality here is this game of all of the games on the site is the closest. It's 5-4. So since there are only 8 categories, how do we get now? Because there was a tie.
Yeah.
And when there's a tie, it awards points both ways. So this game, I think, is the most difficult to call. And I'm going to go here with Gunnar Stockton. I think he's going to be the guy that makes the plays. And, Kirby's been around for quite a while and been very successful in these kind of games.
So I guess what we're going to be keeping an eye on here is they got 3 Big Ten teams, got 3 SEC teams. See how many of those teams make it through, and whether or not the ACC and the Big 12 can sneak into the semifinals as well.
And how about this? I heard some guys talking. Do you think it's more likely that the Big Ten goes 3-0, which they're favored in all those games, or 0-3? Given some of their history over the years. So if you had to pick one of those two, which one would you lean towards?
I would pick 3-0, but I would not be shocked if it's 1-2. Actually, I would not want to parlay this one. I will say that much.
Chad, and I'm with you. I would say 2-1, 1-2 are more likely than 0-3 or 3-0.
Well, enjoy the games. We'll catch you next week.
All right, very good. Thanks, Chad.
Thanks for joining us here on Sully's College Football Page.
WXCO 1230 AM, W255DN Wausau, streaming at bullfallsradio.com.